Hi, this is Jason Nickleby, Coordinator of Officials for the Minnesota State High School League, and this is football training tape number 2. Hopefully you're getting ready for some scrimmages this Saturday. It should be fun to get out and see some snaps before the season. Once again, these tapes aren't meant to pick on any one team, official, or crew. We just want these as a learning opportunity, and hopefully that's working out for your crew as we get going. So with that, let's get to the plays. On this first play, we'll have a pass play to the top of the screen near the pylon. The back judge is in pretty good position, but we want to be on the goal line if at all possible. The back judge rules that it is intercepted in the field of play and subsequently down in the end zone for a momentum exception. So a couple things on this play. Philosophy-wise, if at all possible, let's make these types of plays touchbacks. If it's that close, within a yard or so, make it a touchback. If it's clearly a momentum play, then you can put it in the field of play. Mechanically, back judges, I like how we threw the beanbag clearly into the field of play so that you demonstrate that you have a momentum exception. If we have a touchback, then we're not going to have a beanbag. If we do have a touchback, we want 2 swipes followed by the proper touchback signal. So overall, pretty good mechanics. Just a couple things to touch up on. Good positioning. Just philosophy-wise, let's make this a touchback if at all possible. Good job by the crew. On this play, we'll have a pass play into the end zone at the bottom of the screen. Notice that the previous spot is the 17-yard line, and the back judge is in proper position using last year's mechanics. This year, we'd like you at about 20 yards approximately, and then if you want to move up to the goal line as the play dictates, you can. But in this case, we'd want you about 20 yards or so. Once we get inside the 15-yard line, back judges, we're going to head to the end line as our initial position. Once the pass is thrown, I like how the back judge moves down the end line to view the play. What I want us to do, back judges and line of scrimmage officials as well, if possible, is let's get stationary when the play happens so we can judge it without our eyes moving. And then once the play is completed, we can take a couple steps in and make our signal. So 2 swipes followed by the proper touchback signal. So I like the initial positioning along the end line. Let's come to a stop, view the play, make 2 swipes after taking 2 steps in or so. But overall, pretty good mechanics and judgment. Nice job by the back judge. We'll have a punt play on this play, and I just want to call your attention to a couple of mechanical things for this year. Referees and umpires, make sure we're about 8 to 10 yards to the side of the kicker, about 2 steps back from him. We'll have a pretty good view of what we need to see from there. So that's where we want to be with our initial position, and we can adjust accordingly. Second thing, referees, we have right guard and over, and we zone up for coverage. And umpires, we have the snapper and over, and we zone up for coverage. We're not going to go across the formation anymore. Reason being, if the line judge vacates his spot like he's supposed to, and the referee is looking across, then we are missing potential fouls that involve the tackle or the tight end on that side. So that's the reason for that clarification on that mechanic. And back judges, on our initial position, we want to be about 5 to 6 yards deep of the receiver. We're not standing in front of the receiver anymore, and we don't need to hug the sideline. We're not really concerned with forward progress or out of bounds spots on punt plays. So we need to be a little bit more out in the field, but at least cheating towards the head linesman side of the field. And then line judges, I like how we come down in the white. We'll release on the snap, and then if the play comes towards you, we're going to let it go in front of us like we do in this situation here, and then a nice slow under control, kill the clock, view the players, and we're not really concerned about the spot. So nice job by the line judge in this play, but I just wanted to point out the mechanics for this year on punt plays. On this play, we'll have a pretty good example of the mechanics that we were just talking about. Referees maybe a step or 2 closer, but overall pretty good positioning. Back judge is an excellent position. He's about 6, 7 yards deep, cheating to the head linesman's side, and then he comes in, kills the play, and puts the ball in a big yard line. So very nicely done mechanically. The only thing I want to point out in this play is just be aware, back judges, of the possibility on kicks that end up shorter and the return man has to come up and get the ball. It's entirely possible that we could have kick-catch interference and those types of things when the kicking team is not entirely aware of their surroundings. But overall, very nicely done mechanically. That's what we're looking for. Nice job by the crew. On this play, we'll have a really long pass play that will result in a touchdown. And I just want to point out some very nice mechanics, really tough judgment, and we do the best we can with a 5-man crew. So remember, line of scrimmage officials, even on a play like this, we're going to hold the line, and then as soon as it's passed, we're going to go. And we're going to rely on our back judges to handle a lot of the catch-no-catch responsibilities, and we'll help with goal line as far as pylon is concerned, and then sideline responsibilities. So good job by the crew here. Back judge is in excellent position to rule on this play. It's really tough to see when he finally maintains control. It's possible that he gets control and is down just shy, but maybe he doesn't have it till he is at the goal line. I think we do a nice job here of being nice and patient, we're calm, and we go up with touchdown, and that's your judgment, and that is totally fine. The only thing I would say, back judges, is I would just slow down one other second count, wait till your head linesman gets down there, confirm that he stayed in bounds, and then you can go up with touchdown. The head linesman probably won't be able to help you on goal line, but he can help you on out of bounds as far as that is concerned. So just wait another second count before you go up. But overall, excellent positioning, very calm demeanor. You made the best judgment you could, and you probably got it right. So very nice job by the crew. On this play, the quarterback will keep the ball around the left end, and I want to point out the block at about the 30. I think it's a really good block. It's just an overpower. He doesn't grab him by the jersey and yank him to the ground. He doesn't take him down. It's not a hook and turn. There's no shoulder dip. There's no indicator of a holding foul. It's just an overpower by the blocker. So a nice block. Good job of passing on this. Mechanically, we're going to stay home. We'll take a step back in the offensive backfield, let the play go by, and then officiate the play all the way to the goal line. So good job by the crew here passing on this block. Overall, we just want to know what we're looking for when it comes to offensive holding. It needs to be at the point of attack. It needs to affect the play. So if we're running a play like this to the left side and the right tackle holds, we're not going to call that. Now, if the left tackle holds, then sure, yeah, we are going to call that because it affected the play. And now it needs to be a substantial effect, material restriction on the players being blocked. It can't be a little shoulder tug that he plays through. It has to be an obvious effect, a dip. He goes to the ground, hook and turn, one of those kind of factors to have offensive holding. On this play, the quarterback will drop back to pass, and he won't find anyone open, so he will scramble to the bottom side of the screen. And I think this is a good illustration of why we want our line of scrimmage officials to stay home this year on any play, because if you notice, the line judge comes downfield, which was kind of the typical mechanic we had been doing, but now we want our line of scrimmage officials to hold the line. And had he held the line, he could have let this play develop in front of him. Now, he does get back and gets in great position to view this play, and then he subsequently has a correct call for a late hit personal foul out of bounds. So good job of getting back in position and making this call. When we're looking for late hits, we're looking for when the player who's hit is clearly in the white. If he still has a step on the green or it's over the green or just barely over the white, we can pass on those for late hit type of fouls. But in this case, he's clearly in the white when the defensive player makes contact with him, and that's the kind of play that we're looking for a foul to be called as it is here. So nice job of getting back in position. If for this year we want to make sure we hold the line and then we don't have to worry about it too much. So good job by the crews. Good job on these plays. Good luck with your scrimmage this week. Hopefully you can find a scrimmage to get out and see some snaps, and we'll see you next week.